This is Professor Jonathan Schroeder from the Communication Department, where his major interest is in visual communications.
Visual communication is using visuals, so using images to create a message. So it used to be art and paper, now it's digital, photography, but any way that you're using some visual medium to create a message and send out a message.
How do you think technology-mediated communication has impacted visual communications domain?
Well, it's had a profound impact on visual communication. Certainly, we look at photography as one example. Photography used to be a kind of a matter of technical expertise, so 100 or so years ago, it was kind of an expensive hobby. Then Kodak came out with a brownie and it became kind of an every person's, so Kodak helped democratize photography as communication. And then lately, of course, the digital revolution. So this has impacted a lot of industries that depend on visual communication, like advertising photography, for example. So it used to be, again, that you'd have to have a technical expertise to be an excellent advertising photographer. You had to have access to equipment, know how to use it, and how to deliver, deliver your advertising, your messages. Now, the technical expertise isn't quite as important because of the ubiquity of photographs, photographers, cameras, iPhones. And so, just like journalism, the world of visual communication has really changed.
What about in marketing?
Marketing, too, where this is part of a longer trend where marketing in the last 50 years went through a shift from verbal, so text, copy, telling the consumer why the product or service would be good through a written story or a written narrative or a written testimonial. That's really shifted toward visuals, mostly photographs, animation, computer design. And we see this globally, that the shift in advertising has gone more toward the visual, more toward less words, less verbal rhetoric, and more visual rhetoric. Partly this is easier to adapt to local markets, and partly I think it's just a shift of the way that people think about information and think about brands. It's highly visual now.
How do you envision the future for visual communication?
The future. Well, one site I'm very interested in is the Vine site. So people are making 6-second videos. When I first heard about that, I thought, wow, how can you do much in 6 seconds? Well, then I watched a few good ones, and you realize, oh yeah, this is a very kind of specific kind of visual storytelling that people are getting really good at. So we have some people who are becoming Vine celebrities because they've just been able to tell compelling stories in these 6-second videos. So I don't think everything is going to shrink to 6 seconds, but I think certainly people's attention span has gotten shorter and shorter. We watch YouTube videos, not full-length movies, and now maybe we're shifting to watching 6-second Vines and not 3-minute YouTube videos. So that's one big change I see. And that's coupled with the broader trend of just everyone being a visual communicator. Everyone having a blog or a Tumblr site or now a Vine site where it's fairly easy to create your own content. I mean, it's simple. You just upload your iPhone photographs or you create a 6-second Vine video. And so we're seeing a lot of things we never saw before because people are taking pictures of everything.
How about the platforms and the channels of distribution that we're seeing? I mean, you've got the ability now, anybody can take a photo or a video, but they can also distribute it to the whole world.
Yeah. No, I think YouTube in particular is just such a massive platform. And we now understand why, of course, Google wanted to buy YouTube. And I was just talking to a trustee of the university here, and this is one thing that I was kind of suggesting is that RIT as an institution, perhaps a brand, I think we need to take advantage of some of these distribution platforms. We can't assume that people will come to our website and see videos about what's happening here. They don't want to. Everyone goes on YouTube and they put in a few search terms. And so the ability to attract followers and to attract likes has become an incredibly important skill. This is something that people who are going into the advertising industry are beginning to find out, is the companies are very interested in, they might have a Pinterest site or a Tumblr site, or maybe they're a Vine star, and maybe they've gained thousands or maybe even tens of thousands of followers. That's really interesting for branding agencies, because somehow that individual, that applicant for the job, has been able to tap into a group of people. And so it's like, yeah, how did you get all those followers? You know, and people say, well, here's my portfolio. It's like, we don't care about that. We want to know, we want to hire you because you have been able to be a successful blogger or Vine or, you know, whatever it is. So those skills are becoming really valued.